Picture this. You're in the interview for a facility manager position. This is it, the job that could change the entire direction of your career. The hiring manager leans forward, smiles, and says the words you've been prepping for. So tell us about yourself. You take a deep breath, you start talking about your past career, and within 30 seconds, you've unknowingly said the one thing that gets your resume tossed in the no pile. It's a critical, yet incredibly common mistake that instantly torpedoes countless career changers. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that mistake is, why it's so bad, and give you the powerful two-part story you need to tell instead. This isn't just about answering a question, it's about completely reframing your professional story to land the job you really want. Section 1. The #1 mistake that gets you disqualified. So, what is this giant mistake? It's starting your answer with a chronological tour of your old career. It sounds a little something like this. Well, I started my career in hospitality about 10 years ago, working the front desk. After a few years, I was promoted to shift supervisor and then eventually became the hotel manager, where I was responsible for guest services and staff scheduling. And right there, you've lost them. The hiring manager's eyes glaze over. Their internal monologue kicks in. Okay, so, a hotel manager. What does that have to do with our HVAC systems? Where's this going? I've got 5 other people to talk to today who already have direct experience. This person just doesn't get it. You think you're giving helpful context, but what the interviewer hears is a story about a different job in a different industry with a completely different set of priorities. You are forcing them to do the mental gymnastics of connecting the dots between your past and their needs. And let's be honest, in a 30-minute interview, they just don't have the time or energy to do that work for you. This mistake triggers a huge red flag in the hiring manager's mind, that you, as a career changer, don't actually understand the reality of being a facility manager. Facility management is a world of hard assets, preventative maintenance schedules, tough vendor negotiations, and strict safety rules. When you lead with a story about guest satisfaction scores, you create a massive disconnect. You sound like a tourist visiting their world, not like someone who's ready to take ownership of a multi-million-dollar building on day one. You've accidentally framed all your experience as irrelevant. And in a competitive job market, the second you seem irrelevant, you're out of the running. Section 2. The crucial mindset shift. You are the solution. Okay, now for the most important part, the fix. Before we even get into the words you'll use, we need to totally shift how you think about this question. Stop seeing "tell me about yourself" as an invitation to read your resume out loud. It's not, it's a sales pitch. The interviewer's real question is, tell me why you're the solution to my problems and how your background is relevant to this specific job. Your answer has to be an active translation. You are the translator. Your job is to take your diverse background and translate it into the language of facility management. Every skill you mention, every story you tell, must be a direct bridge from your past experience to the future value you will bring them. The best way to do this is with a modified present-past-future formula, tweaked specifically for a career changer. But instead of a straight line, you're going to weave these parts into a story that immediately proves your relevance and motivation. Section 3. The fix. Part 1. Your origin story. Connect the dots. This is your new powerful opening. Instead of a boring chronological history, you're going to start with a confident statement that frames your career change as a smart, deliberate move. You'll blend the present and past into one heck of an opening line. It starts by owning the change. For example, I come from a decade-long career in your previous field, where I built a specific set of skills that, as I discovered, are directly transferable to the core challenges of facility management. See the difference? You've immediately taken control of the story. You're not a former hotel manager. You're a professional with a decade of experience and skills that this industry demands. Next, you have to prove it with concrete, translated examples. Don't just list your skills, that's weak. Instead, tie a skill to a specific measurable achievement from your past that mirrors what a facility manager does. Let's run through a few examples. If you're coming from hospitality management, you don't say, "I have experience with vendors." You say, "As a hotel manager, I was directly in charge of managing relationships with over 15 different service vendors, from our laundry service to our elevator maintenance contractor. I actually renegotiated 3 of our largest contracts, which led to a 12% cost reduction while improving our service levels." Boom! You just showed vendor management, negotiation, and financial smarts. If you're transitioning from the military, don't say, "I'm good under pressure." You say, During my time as a logistics officer, I was responsible for the planned and reactive maintenance of a whole fleet of vehicles. This meant creating and executing strict preventative maintenance schedules and leading my team to respond to surprise equipment failures in high-stakes situations, which is a direct parallel to the emergency prep and crisis management needed in facilities. If you're from retail or restaurant management, don't say, "I managed a building." You say, "In my role as a multi-store retail manager, I was the main point of contact for all property-related issues across 5 locations. This covered everything from coordinating emergency HVAC repairs and managing small store renovations to ensuring we were 100% compliant with local health and safety codes." It gave me real hands-on experience with the day-to-day operational puzzles of a physical space. Each of these examples translates what you did into what you can do. You're showing them, not just telling them, that you already have the foundational skills to crush it in this role. You've connected all the dots for them. Section 4. The Fix. Part 2. The Payoff. Why here? Why now? So, the first part of your story proved you're capable. This second part, the future piece, proves you're committed and excited. This is where you answer the 2 big questions hanging in the air. Why are you leaving your old career? And more importantly, why do you want to work for us? First, you need to explain your motivation for the change. And it has to be a pull, not a push. You aren't running away from your old job, you are running towards facility management. Your answer should sound like a discovery. Something like, "Over time I found that the parts of my job I loved the most weren't the customer-facing things, but the behind-the-scenes operational puzzles. I got a real charge out of coordinating a major renovation, solving a complex logistical problem, or finding a way to make our building run more efficiently. I realized my true passion is in managing the physical environment itself, which is what led me to proactively pursue a career in facility management." You can make this even stronger by mentioning specific steps you've taken, like courses, certifications, or even just deep diving into industry publications. It shows you're serious. Finally, you have to tie your ambition directly to their company. This shows you don't just want any facility manager job, you want this one. This is where your homework pays off. For example, what specifically drew me to this role at your company was seeing the emphasis on sustainability in the job description. In my last role, I launched a project to replace all our lighting with energy-efficient LEDs, which cut our energy costs by 15%. I'm excited about the chance to bring that same focus on efficiency to a larger scale here. Or maybe, I read an article about your company's upcoming expansion project, and that's what really got me excited. My background is heavy in project coordination and managing complex timelines with lots of stakeholders, and I'm eager for a role where I can use those skills to help support your company's growth. This is your closing argument. It tells them you're qualified, you're motivated, and you are specifically interested in making them more successful. Section 5. Putting it all together. The exact formula. Alright, let's put it all together into one seamless, impressive answer. When the interviewer says, "Tell us about yourself," this is what they'll hear. Full example answer. "I come from a background in hospitality management, where for the last 8 years I've been honing my skills in budget management, vendor negotiation, and team leadership. While I enjoyed the work, I found that the parts of the job I was truly passionate about were the operational challenges. Coordinating building repairs, managing our maintenance contractors, and making sure our physical plant was always safe and running efficiently. For instance, in my last role, I was responsible for a portfolio of 20 vendor contracts. I initiated a full review and successfully renegotiated our 3 largest agreements, saving us over $50,000 a year while actually improving service levels. I also led the project to upgrade our entire building's security system, which involved sourcing the tech, managing the installation vendor, and training our 50-person staff on the new system. That hands-on experience in managing the nuts and bolts of a building sparked my passion for this field, and I've since completed a certification in facilities operations to build on that practical knowledge. What really drew me to this specific role is your company's reputation for having a proactive, data-driven approach to maintenance. I'm excited by the opportunity to bring my skills in project coordination and cost control to your team and help maintain your high standards of operational excellence. Feel the difference? That's not the story of a hotel manager anymore. It's the story of a proactive problem solver and a capable manager who is ready to be a facility manager from day one. So, let's recap. First, stop telling a chronological history of your old job. It's the fastest way to get screened out. Second, reframe your answer as a sales pitch. You are the solution to their problems. And third, tell a powerful two-part story. Start by translating your past skills into relevant, bottom-line achievements. Then, pivot to the future by explaining your passion for the field and showing how you'll add value to their company specifically. Master this story and tell us about yourself will no longer be a question you fear. It will be your single best chance to prove you're the perfect person for the job. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And feel free to drop any questions you have in the comments below.